We're going to start things off on a very serious note. Personal safety is what we're talking about. No one wants to be the victim of a violent crime. Now there's a retreat coming up that could help women decrease their chances of being attacked. Here with details is Jody Salerno, the owner of Personal Safety Alliance. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. It's so nice to be here.
This is something that I think everybody is going to be able to take something away from this conversation, and with this retreat coming up, just so much valuable information and training.
It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful for the women.
So tell me, Jody, how did you get involved with personal safety, personal protection?
This all started after my divorce. I found myself on my own for the first time in my life after 27 years of marriage. So I knew at that point I had to protect myself. I was vulnerable, and not only myself, I had to protect my 11-year-old son that was living with me. So I started the journey like a lot of women, buying the first firearm, and then still being afraid of that firearm, and then starting to take the classes and different things like that, and I fell in love with it. I love it, and then I started training on the self-defense, love that. So that's how that started.
And so this is your own company that you started?
Yes.
And so you took it from a divorce, which was probably a low point in your life, to creating this company to help other women. How empowering for you.
Thank you.
So what do you do in your company? How do you train other women?
So Personal Safety Alliance, I help you to take responsibility for your own personal safety. And I do that by firearms training as an instructor, and I do that through presenting safety awareness seminars and workshops. And the safety awareness seminars are, I make them, I just lost my word.
That's okay.
So for instance, I have them for realtors. I have seminars for in-home caregivers. I have seminars for rape, how to prevent rape.
Yeah.
Different things like that. So they're customized. That was the word I was looking for.
So with this retreat and leading up to this, what are the questions that you find a lot of women asking? Is there something that they're afraid of, unaware of?
Well, a lot of people are just not, people are unaware of what can happen to them. They're unaware that there are people out there preying on them, so to speak. There's a lot of people out there preying on women right now. The days are gone where women can say, well, you know what, that might happen to me. Something bad might happen. The mentality has to be, something is going to happen, and when is it going to happen, and are you going to be prepared? So
let's talk about the actual retreat. If someone signs up for this, if they come to the retreat, and this is going to be in March, what can they expect?
When they come to the retreat, it's all about women empowerment. So what I have is the women will run through 8 different classes. I have 8 different instructors lined up for them. They need to know all these basic life-saving skills. One of the coolest things I have is simulator training. So what it does is it's a system where they come in with a 7 or 8 foot screen. You have a laser pistol, and they put you into different scenarios. There's 700 different scenarios that you could be put in to that. Life-saving scenarios. You have to use your critical thinking skills quickly to get out of that situation. So it really makes you think. And the really cool part is this gentleman trains the police officers.
I was going to say, that sounds very familiar to something I know that the police officers use for training.
So he's trained 90 different departments. So it's pretty cool that the women are going to come in and be able to train the same way as law enforcement. I have instructors coming in to teach women how to get out of restraints. If you're abducted, you're going to be restrained.
Right.
How to get out of chokeholds. Somebody comes up behind you in a bear hold. Things like that. One of the most powerful things is I have 3 survivors coming to tell their stories. So I have Dareth Chisholm coming to tell her story.
We heard she was here on our show not too long ago. Yes, and we heard her story. It's incredible.
It's an incredible story. I have Alicia, who was abducted when she was 13. She was in an internet chat room. She was abducted. She's coming to tell her story. And then I have Christine Irwin, who's local. She's a rape victim, and they found her on the side of the road.
Oh my goodness.
So these women, they're amazing women that are coming to tell their story.
Right, really hit home with the people that attend this conference. In training, I think that one of the things that we have to remember too is oftentimes we think of being a victim as being a stranger attacking us, but this could also happen in your own home.
It could happen in your own home. It could be your spouse.
Right.
It could be your boyfriend.
Right.
It could be your neighbor. Yeah.
So these are still things that you can learn, that you can use if you ever find yourself in those situations.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
How did you decide to put this retreat together? Is it your first one?
It's my first one. I had the idea I had the inspiration from the women I talk to every day and the women I train every day. You know, when you get a phone call from a woman saying, Jody, my husband assaulted me and put me in the hospital. He was arrested and now he's getting out. I bought a gun because I'm afraid, because when he comes back to the house, he's going to kill me.
Right.
You know, I still get chills when I hear that. Or the mom that'll call and say, you know, my daughter was downtown with her friends and they were jumped from behind, assaulted, raped, and now she's in the hospital. So that's my motivation for this, or my inspiration for this. So the women that
these are real stories that happened to real women.
Yes, so the women that were victims, you know, this retreat, I want to make it so that they are never going to be victims again. And the women that are lucky enough to not have been victims yet, making sure that they don't become a victim. And that was my inspiration for the retreat.
Wow. Really powerful stuff. I think it's going to be very helpful for a lot of women, and certainly something that a lot will want to take part of. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing some of that. The Women's Warrior Weekend Retreat will be held March 9th through 11th at Nemacolin Woodlands Resort. You can find more information on our website. We'll have a link posted for you at kdka.com/PTL.